Hello again, this is Fire and Steel once again, and today we're gonna review the Tahoma. As you can see, this is a survival knife primarily. Now the overall length is almost 14 inches. The cutting edge is 7/5/16 of an inch, and the thickness is 3/16 of an inch. So it's just a thick blade. It should take a lot of beating.
Yeah, it's a 1095 steel.
With a black river wash coating.
It's a really beautiful knife. It is.
Yeah,
I
nice.
really love the design of it. It's made by Tran. He designed the knife for tops. It's really beautiful. And has a spear tip, which is a problem for us. I think it gives the knife a really cool look to it, but batoning is a problem. It's a huge problem. Now tops will give you a false edge if you ask for it when you order it. They will, well, they won't sharpen the edge, so the edge is still there. It'll still beat up your baton, but this one will just cut off your baton, really.
And is there because of a reserve blade edge?
Yeah, reserve
edge.
So it's a smart thing, but I guess it's okay for a survive knife thing. But I don't know. I like the look. I don't like the fact that it's there, though. It has no use for me. I guess, you know.
Batoning is such an important task.
Yeah.
That we wouldn't want to trade it away.
No, and if I wanted to dress game, birds, or I would use a smaller knife than this, like the one I normally use, a K-bar game stalker, which is much more handy for at least small game. I guess if you want to dress a boar or something, it might work.
And another feature is the carving.
Yeah,
it's a tooth, basically.
Yeah.
It's a steel tooth.
It's quite sharp.
It's a saw tooth, and it's meant for carving bones, I guess.
Also, I think you can take your kettle off the fire with this notch right here. I think that's why it's two. I don't know. I'm not sure really why there are two of those notches. I've heard some people talk about that the blade could break on those points. I don't think so, because it's such a broad blade that I don't think it's going to break because of that. I really do not think so. It's
so broad and thick.
I would be really surprised if the 1095 would break because of that. I don't think that will happen. You have some markings on it. Tahoma field knife and the Tops logo. I really love that that coating. That's really nice.
Yeah.
Another
cool look.
Yeah, it is. The finger choil is big. The edge goes all the way down. Now, primarily, I think finger choils aren't really for getting up on your blade. They are meant so you can sharpen your blade all the way down. I think that's why choils are made, actually. But you know, you can use it that way. But
this has got a big finger choil.
Yeah, but you can cut your glove, I guess, since the blade is going all the way down. It's quite sharp. But I don't think it's a problem, though. And if it's a problem, you just grind down the edge there.
Yeah.
It shouldn't be a problem at all. So it's not a minus, really. It's okay.
And then you got the hole on the back of the blade here, and it's said to be its main use is breaking off bullets. Or something?
Yeah, taking bullets out of shells.
Yeah.
If you need gunpowder, I guess, for fires and stuff like that. So it's a nice feature, but I think primarily
tie a knife up on a stick.
To make a spear, because this one would be actually a really good spear because of the tip. It would work fantastic as that. So I think so. Also, a lanyard hole here is you know, you get more options for lanyards, which is kind of cool. Which brings us to one of the problems with the knife: its grip. It has really It's really really aggressive jimping up here. I like that. You get a good grip. The problem though is, as with all tops knife I've owned and seen and touched, is the handle. It's not ergonomic enough.
Yeah.
It goes in a straight line from top to bottom. I have a large size hand. We did some chopping, and we've done some chopping with the knife, and you have to reposition your hand a lot.
Yeah. You really have to use a lot of strength to keep the knife in place in your hand.
Yeah. So I think that if Tops they could make this knife better just by making the knife more ergonomic, smaller it in here and here, so you get a good grip, like on the GSO, for instance. Other than that, though, it's what's the color called? Color of the micarta?
No idea.
Tan canvas, I think. Red tan canvas or something.
Micarta.
Yeah.
You got the bow drill divot, both sides. Just handy, I guess.
Yeah, I think on a field knife, a survive knife, which this is, you really should have all options available for survival. I think that's a good thing. I'm not a big fan of bow drill divots. I don't bow drill. I use fire steels and all that kind of stuff. But I think on a survive knife, you must have it, simply because.
And it doesn't get in the way anymore.
No.
On your grip.
The handle is very curved. It gives a good grip if you want to grip down here. You get a good grip, actually.
But still, it's pretty.
Yeah, it's slippery.
Slippery.
And this micarta is really smooth too, really slippery compared to like the GSO. It's weird. I don't know if anyone knows. They could tell us if you can grind it a little bit down. Maybe use some sandpaper or something, maybe to make it a little more texturized, so you can get a better grip on it, because it's really fat and slippery. So I wouldn't call this knife a chopper at all. You can chop. It's not that. It will chop quite good too, but there are better options in my opinion. Another lanyard hole with a brass insert, which I like. I like brass inserts.
Yeah, gives it a good look too.
Yeah, really does.
And on the end we got the pry bar, which is pretty sturdy, I would say.
Yeah, it's a
big,
really hefty
chunk of
pommel.
steel.
Really big pommel. And again, for a survive knife, I think that's, you have to have that. You have to have every option on a knife. And I think this knife gives you everything you need, really, for survival. It really does. As we said, it will chop. It really will chop. But I would classify it as a big knife, a huge knife.
Yeah. It's a very universal kind of knife, which it does every task, but it doesn't do any of them excellent.
Exactly. It's a really good point. It weighs about 1 pound. It feels heavier in my opinion, because of the balance. If you can show you the balance point of the knife, it balances really close to the handle, when I would like the balance point to be right above the choil, finger choil. It's not off by a mile though, it's not that, but I think that really also makes it less of a chopper than it could be.
You do have a lot of weight in your hand area,
and you can feel that when you chop too. You can really feel that weight, that strain on your hand. I mean, we did some chopping, as I said. If you're going to be chopping for a few hours with this, your hand is going to be meaty. It's going to be really beaten up. And also, we don't use gloves, although I know a lot of Americans like to use gloves and stuff. We never use gloves, really. It's a personal preference. But I can use gloves, but since I don't use gloves, I don't want to have to use gloves just to use the knife. I think it's not a good thing. It retails for
$220 on the Top's
$220.
homepage.
Yeah, we'll be putting a link to them, to the knife, and I think you can get it cheaper, maybe somewhere on eBay or something like that. You can always find stuff easier, I guess, on a lot of sites, Knife Center and Blade HQ and all that kind of stuff. We might be putting some links down below for those as well. But yeah, retail price is $220, as you said.
Yep.
Which isn't a bad price for a knife this size with all the options. And $10.95 is a great steal. So yeah, you'll get a lot of knife for the money.
Sheath?
Yeah, Sheath. Here's the big minus of this knife. As you can see, I have the same knife. The only difference between his and mine is the markings. Mine are black, his are white. Doesn't really matter. Strange, but it doesn't really matter. The sheath is the normal Tops sheath. It's a ballistic nylon sheath with straps, which I do not like. I know that if you buy the knife from Andy Tran himself on his webpage, we'll be putting a description down below for his as well. He can put some buttons on there. But still, I do not like this. It's we walk in the woods, we wade through rivers, all that kind of stuff, and this will get dirty, and after a while it doesn't work at all, and that makes the sheath useless. Yeah. The insert makes the knife rattle a lot, and I mean, even if I strap it, it's gonna rattle. Rattle isn't a big thing, but it's annoying. If you walk long trips and you have this constantly, it's gonna get annoying. For me, at least, it does. I guess a plus is has a big belt loop with some options for tying paracord. It's some MOLLE weaving, so you can put it on your battle vest or on your backpack for those that use those kind of 511 backpacks or whatever. A huge pocket. It's actually very big. I have my Nano Striker XL in here that fits, and yeah, you get the Tops flute, as you always. Sounds like a train. You always get those with the Tops sheaths. So it's a big pocket. I like that. The big problem, the insert is bad. I mean, it's just bad.
Yeah, because Tops makes the exact same.
Exact same sheath. I think maybe some are broader, depending on knife, some are smaller, but it's the same sheath.
But they changed the inlay plastics.
Yeah.
To the knife, doesn't it?
Yeah. They I think they melt it around the knife.
Yeah.
And then just put it in here.
Yeah, because I broke mine the first time I.
Yeah. The knife came through, because you can feel here that so it came through the insert and cut straight through the ballistic nylon. In my opinion, Tops, this is not good enough. These sheaths are not good, and I think you should make Kydex sheaths as an option for people that want it. Freddie has made his. It's awesome. It's really good, and it's perfect. I mean, it looks like the GSO one. It fits the knife. It's really slim. He made that with a thumb push off. Comes out easy. This is it's so much better. It's such a huge improvement to this. And I mean, everyone knows that if you want pocket options, you can just get those made, or make them yourself with leather or Kydex even, and put it on. So
it's such an easy material to work with.
Yeah. So I guess, you know, price wise, I guess this is okay. But I think that, yeah, well, it's just not good enough. This sheath is not good enough. Tops.
It'll work.
Yeah.
But that's it.
Yeah.
Really.
You get some paracord at the end with it, but you know, don't really care about that at all. So yeah. Again, I'm probably going to complain about this on every Tops knife we do. again, it's just personal preference. Some like it, and that's okay. I get it. You know, if you don't need anything more than this, it's okay. I do though. And another thing is, if you fall in the river with this, it's gonna get wet, and it's gonna collect all the water in here. It's not gonna go out. You have to take the knife out. You have to dry it out. Do everything. At least put something, a wee pole here or something, so to dry out the water, so we can get it out of the sheath. In Norway it rains a lot. We're out in the winter too, you know, so snow and water is inevitable. Yeah. What would you rate the knife if you want to rate it?
I would give it a 7, 7.5.
Yeah, I think that's fair enough.
Yeah, it's a good knife.
You know, the sheath takes away some of the enjoyment of it. Of course, Freddy makes Kydex, so this is a lot better. But we have to do the original knife, and I think a 7 is fair for us. I mean, some might rate it 10. That's okay. I get it. If you need everything on the knife, it's a 10 for sure.
The knife will work.
Yeah.
No question about it.
So, Andy Tran, you made a beautiful knife. I just think you should have involved yourself maybe a little bit more on the handles. The handles is the biggest problem for me with this knife. It's too slippery to work with. And I'm not a big fan of putting Ranger bands on stuff. I have Ranger bands, but I just don't like putting it on stuff.
And you shouldn't.
No, you shouldn't have to customize. I mean, sometimes you have to customize your stuff, but I don't think that's. I mean, when you pay over $200 for a thing, you shouldn't have to customize it. I don't think so. I think that's a. You customize $50 knives. You don't customize $200 knives. Oh yeah. A big shout out though to Andy Tran for making this though. Check out his channel. I guess we'll be putting in what the indoor bark.
Yeah,
Indoor Bark, I think it's called, his YouTube channel.
We're gonna put a link to it.
Yeah,
Anyway.
you'll get a link in the description below. Check out his channel; it's quite good. And he can really show you how he uses his knife as well. A lot better than we do.
Yeah. Well, that's all we had for the Tops Tahoma field knife. See you next time.
No.